Long ago, vampires and humans hunted each other. Now, however, they live in peace, respecting certain rules. But everything changed when a bloodsucker overstepped the mark and started a war. It all started when Jay Perez comes to pick up his girlfriend, Maria, from a laundromat. While they're in the car, Jay notices that they're being chased by a Maserati. From Jay's reaction, it seems like he knows that car and is definitely not happy to see it. In a moment, they both stop, and Jay grabs a gun. The blonde guy in the Maserati is named Victor, a vampire. As soon as the light turns green, Jay hits the pedal and drives away. Jay gets out of the car to find Victor and tells Maria to take the car away. Inside a basement, he finds 3 bleeding bodies hanging upside down. In the process, Maria is about to start the car, but suddenly someone smashes the window. Jay hears the noise but does not find Maria in the car. During class, the main character named Benny is sleeping like a baby. Benny is a simple and kind guy who lives with his grandmother and studies economics at the college. In his spare time, he's a beatmaker, doing pretty well. His grandmother, Abuela, is a sweet granny who loves to cook, especially for Benny. Also, in Benny's room, we find out that he is a fan of skating and Naruto. While he is making a new beat, he hears his brother Jay talking to someone on the phone. Jay works as a personal driver for very wealthy people, but he has other things to do today. So Benny would like to take his place and work for him because he needs the money. Initially, Jay is skeptical, but in the end he decides to give him a chance and gives the keys to his brother. Benny's job is to transport people in a very luxurious black Cadillac Escalade. This car can be started from the outside with only a button. Also, since Benny is working in Jay's stead tonight, he has to tell everyone that he is Jay. Benny is very excited to drive such a car in such a fancy costume. You can see on his face that he is as happy as a child who just got the toy he wanted for Christmas. In the evening, Benny drives to a mansion to pick up his clients. He is quite nervous. He wants to look very professional. Suddenly, a beautiful red-haired girl comes out of the mansion. Benny confuses her with Zoe Moreau, but the girl's name is Blair. Blair is a close friend of Zoe's. Benny then makes a fool of himself because Blair notices his zipper down, not to mention he doesn't know he has to open the car door for her. He doesn't know how to act. You can tell from a mile that this is his first experience as a personal driver. We finally meet Zoe Moreau. A peculiar personality, quite aggressive but with finesse. Benny's job is to take the girls to 5 different destinations until the sun comes up. While they are in the car, the girls want to play a game with Benny. They ask him what he would do if he knew that tonight would be his last night. Blair and Zoe are expecting something spectacular, but Benny says he is a pretty chill guy and doesn't have any particular fantasies. At this point, Zoe asks him whom he is going to kill, her, Blair, or his grandmother. Benny wants to sound professional but finally jokes that he would kill Zoe. Throughout the ride, Benny is constantly looking at Blair. He really likes her. They arrive at their first destination, a type of party with masks. Before entering the mansion, the girls take out an amulet with a red stone. Apparently you can only pass if you have one like that. Meanwhile, Jay is planning how to solve the vampire issue on the same night. Victor has started a war. The girls aren't back yet, so Benny gets out of the car to get some air. On the ground he finds the same amulet they had. Soon after, the girls exit the mansion and head to their next destination. They pull into an underground parking lot, and like the first time, Benny has to wait for them. In the process, Benny notices that Zoe has left her phone in the car. He also notices that she has received text from Victor. Victor is asking for Jay. At that point, it seems strange to Benny because for this night he is Jay. Shortly thereafter, Benny tries to call Jay, who does not answer. This seems strange to him, and he begins to peek into Zoe's purse and finds a lot of money with bloodstains in the middle of the bag. As he touches and counts the money, he accidentally gets blood on his face. On the collar of his shirt, as if that isn't enough, an officer enters the parking lot. Benny doesn't wait too long and gets out of the car, starting to run inside where the girls entered. It looks like a hotel. At the entrance he meets the concierge, who notices that Benny is very agitated, sweaty and with the blood stain on the collar of his shirt. She is about to call security, but everything changes when she sees the amulet in Benny's hand. The concierge immediately begins to apologize, and Benny tries to pretend that he is really the possessor of the amulet. The concierge walks Benny to the elevator and tells him to drink responsibly, but she isn't meaning the alcohol. When Benny enters the room, he is petrified when he sees Blair and Zoe sucking blood from the necks of 2 guys. Zoe, with blood on her mouth, lifts Benny up with 2 hands and begins to scare him. At this point, Benny confesses that he isn't actually Jay but his brother. Zoe wants to suck his blood, deeming him useless since he is not Jay, but Blair manages to persuade her, telling her that Benny will take them to Jay. Suddenly one of the guys wakes up. In fact, this party has been planned and these 2 consciously chose to be food for the vampires. They are being paid to feed the vampires with their blood, but Zoe has gotten a little too loose and kills one of them. She doesn't think twice and tells Blair to finish off the second guy. In the meantime, Benny begins to run outside. As soon as he arrives outside, he is stopped by the officer he ran away from earlier. Benny desperately tells him what happened, but the officer doesn't seem surprised at all. In fact, he wants to arrest him and take him away, but is interrupted by the two girls who have finished dinner. The girls and the officer seem to know each other. In fact, he knows they are vampires. After a short discussion, the officer lets Benny free. He tries to text someone, but Zoe notices him and breaks his phone. Meanwhile, Victor, in his very luxurious mansion, is drinking fresh blood. In the basement of the house, he has people from whom blood is being extracted. They are tied up and asleep inside the glass boxes. After a taste of blood, Victor leaves in his Maserati to pay a visit to some special people. In the meantime, Benny is in the car with the two girls and tries one more time to escape. He unbuckles his belt and gets out of the car, but is surprised by Zoe, who has practically teleported in front of him. Back to Victor. He comes to visit Grace and Eva, two very powerful vampires in the city. In fact, Victor works for them. The girls, Grace and Eva, work with Martin, another boss in LA. The girls know that Victor crossed the line of Boyle Heights and killed Maria, Jay's girlfriend. At this point, the girls must decide how to punish Victor, because he has broken a peace pact that lasted for years. Grace tells Victor that he will be banned from the town for a long time, but the girls don't expect Victor to say that he isn't going anywhere. After that, he uncovers his plan to take over all of LA. Eva tries to call Martin right away, but they don't know that Martin has already been killed by Victor. They are breathless when Victor pulls out Martin's ear, like Mike Tyson. At this point, no one can save them, and they are both killed by Victor. In the meantime, Benny and the girls have stopped at a market. Zoe goes out to buy something. In the car, Benny is very agitated, and Blair tries to calm him down. She reveals to him that vampires and humans live together in this town following certain rules. Also, she tells him that Zoe is Victor's girlfriend. Blair and Zoe manage the money from different businesses and blood clubs. Victor, having a thirst for power, has been planning this night for a long time. He wants to kill all 5 leaders of the city to take absolute power of the city. Blair also tells him that Jay, Benny's brother, runs the Boyle Heights territory, and Victor wanted to use him to turn him against the city leaders. That's why Victor killed Maria to provoke Jay. But the plan has changed because Benny showed up in Jay's place, so Benny must take the girls to his brother. Between Benny and Blair there is a spark. The two are getting closer. In the meantime, Jay has regrouped his gang to hunt vampires. They arrive at the mansion of an LA boss named Gio. Gio tells Jay that Blair and Zoe came to his party and did this killing. Plus they sucked pretty much all of his blood, so he urgently needs a drink. After revealing that Blair and Zoe are heading to the Three Kings, a popular club in LA, he is finished off by gunshot. Blair, Zoe and Benny head to the Three Kings Club, and the girls want Benny to come with them so he doesn't run away. Before entering the club, Benny is recognized by his college friends. They stop Benny to use him so they can get in. Then they start making fun of him for being a driver. Blair can't stand them. She grabs Benny and starts kissing him. Meanwhile, Jay and his crew have already arrived at the club and are looking for the two girls Gio mentioned. Inside the club, Blair and Zoe meet Caleb, a vampire hunter. Caleb is not alone, and within seconds the girls are surrounded by a group of men. When they are about to kill them, Benny throws a bottle of champagne over Caleb's head and everyone gets distracted. At that moment, the girls are able to liberate themselves, thanks to Benny's impulsive move. As they are about to leave the club, Jay sees Benny and recognizes him. As he is about to follow him, he is stopped by one of the staff, and Jay, in a rage, takes the knife and strikes him in the heart. After that, the vampire falls to the ground and begins to burn. As the girls and Benny are about to get into the car, Jay's group starts hitting them with crossbows. They immediately get into the car and Benny drives off, and Zoe, as if there is no danger, sticks her head out the window and starts howling. Benny decides to help Blair and Zoe escape and lets them hide at his house. Benny's grandmother is scared to death and wants explanations right away. Benny has never brought a girl home before. In the meantime, Jay and his friends are stopped by the officer working for Victor. He tells Jay that Victor would like to talk to him at the Rosso Poro restaurant. At Benny's house, Zoe is talking to Victor on the phone, and he tells her that there is only one boss left to kill. Throughout the night, Benny and Blair begin to like each other more and more. Blair, with her stunning charm, and Benny with his simplicity, give Blair a melancholic feeling. You see, Blair used to be a human being and lived a normal life, but she was transformed by Zoe. Sometimes she misses being human again. The time has come to leave for the next destination, and Blair doesn't want Benny to come so as not to put him in danger, but he decides to go with her anyway. Meanwhile, Jay has arrived at the restaurant and meets Victor. Victor needs to make his last move and wants to waste Jay's time. While Victor is talking to him, Jay pierces Victor's head with a gunshot and is about to stab him in the heart with a knife, but Victor stops his hand and starts to regenerate his head. After that he reveals to him that he killed Maria and cooked her meat. Exactly the meat Jay is eating. Benny and the girls arrive at Rocco's bar, a crazy guy. Rocco is confused. The three arrive unannounced and he looks scared, but he is just freaked out. Zoe wants to talk to him, so Benny and Blair have gone outside. After Rocco and Zoe have a drink, Zoe pulls out a knife. In the meantime outside it gets exciting because Benny and Blair start to tell about their past. After that they start kissing passionately. Inside the bar however, Rocco realizes that Zoe is there to kill him, and when she tries to hit him Rocco manages to stop. After that Blair and Zoe start to fight against Rocco's friends. Meanwhile Benny has climbed into the car and helps the girls by hitting one of the vampire hunters with the car. The night is over. Blair and Zoe reach their targets, but Zoe has been injured and needs blood. Benny leaves the girls at the last place on their list and discovers that the house belongs to Victor. Blair urges him to leave but Benny refuses to abandon his brother who is inside the house. Benny finds several human prisoners held by Victor as blood bags to feed on, including Jay, and Benny is captured by Victor while trying to free him. Victor and Zoe then threaten to kill him. Zoe realizes that she has feelings for Benny. Victor hands Zoe a knife and she, in a rage, punches Blair in the stomach. In retaliation Benny remotely activates his brother's car, breaking a window and exposing sunlight that kills Zoe. Victor then attacks Benny using Jay as bait, and manages to bite Benny before Jay confronts him in the sunlight, killing him. Benny soon turns into a vampire and the brothers part ways after Jay decides to begin training as a professional vampire hunter. He tells Benny that he expects him to fight by his side when the city descends into chaos. Later that night Benny meets Blair for a night of blood drinking.